Hello and welcome back. This is the second tutorial from Kumologica, and in this tutorial we will be creating a product API. A product API will be accepting a post request with the product details which will be inserted into AWS DynamoDB. As a prerequisite to this particular tutorial, we need an AWS DynamoDB table. So here we have created a products table, and these are the columns that are associated with this table. Product name, batch date, product ID, quantity, and supplier. The minimal configuration that's required for DynamoDB configuration is your DynamoDB ARN. I'm copying this particular ARN. Coming back to the designer, the starting point for our flow is an event listener node. As an event source, I'm selecting Amazon API Gateway. Verb, I'm selecting it as a post, and URL, I'm providing it as products. Now we will drop a DynamoDB node and wire the event listener node to the DynamoDB. For the DynamoDB, I'm giving the display name as insert products. Operation is an insertion, so I'm selecting it as put item. Table name, I'm providing the same table name that is provided on my overview configuration. Products. Table ARN already I have copied, so I'm pasting it over here. Fields, I'm providing the columns that are already provided for the DynamoDB table. The source is the point from which we are actually reading the values from the incoming payload. So the incoming payload is part of message, and the actual payload is payload itself. My payload will be carrying the product ID under the name product ID. For adding further columns, I am clicking on add event to add more number of entries. Repeating the same for other fields. Added all the fields associated with the table. As an end of the flow, I'm adding event listener int, wiring the DynamoDB node to event listener end node. On the end node, for the status code, I'm adding it as 201, which is a REST code for successful insertion. I'm providing the status as inserted. With this, we are actually done with the flow related to product API. Now let's deploy. For deployment, as we have explained in tutorial 1, we'll be selecting a profile. In this case, I'm putting it as Kumologica. On the API, I'm selecting it as create API under trigger, selecting the deployment stage as test. Click deploy. As you can see, the deployment has been initiated and the designer is creating the Lambda. So now we have completed with the deployment and we got the URL for accessing the API. Let's go to the Postman client. Pasting the URL that we have already copied. I have the payload already pre-populated over here with the product name, quantity, product ID, batch date, and supplier. As you can see, we have the status responded back from the API as inserted. Now let's check the DynamoDB table. As you can see, we have the record inserted successfully to DynamoDB. With this, we are completed with the second tutorial. We'll catch up on the third tutorial soon. Thank you.